Learn about digestive system. Vertebrate digestive system. Vertebrates have evolved more complex digestive systems to adapt to their dietary needs. Some animals have a single stomach, while others have multiple multi-chambered stomachs. Birds have developed a digestive system adapted to eating, while others have multi-chambered stomachs. Birds have developed a digestive system adapted to eating on masticated food, that is on chewable food. The digestive system is a group of organs working together to convert food into energy and basic nutrients to feed the entire body. Food passes through a long tube inside the body known as the alimentary canal or the gastrointestinal tract. GI tract. The alimentary canal is made up of oral cavity, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestines, and large intestines. Monogastric or single chamber stomach process. The word monogastric suggests this type of digestive system consists of one stomach chamber. Humans and many animals have a monogastric digestive system. The process of digestion begins with the mouth and the intake of food. The enzymes present in the saliva also begins to chemically break down food. The esophagus is a long tube that connects the mouth to the stomach. Using peristalsis, the muscle of the esophagus pushes the food towards the stomach. In order to speed up the actions of enzymes in the stomach has an extremely acidic environment with a pH between 1.5 and 2.5. The gastric juices, which include enzymes in the stomach, act on the food particles and continues the process of digestion. In the small intestine, enzymes produced by the liver, the small intestine, and the pancreas continue the process of digestion. The nutrients are absorbed into the bloodstream across the epithelial cells lining the walls of the small intestines. The waste material travels to the large intestine where water is absorbed and the drier waste material is compacted into feces that are stored until excreted through the rectum. To achieve the goal of providing energy and nutrients to the body, six major functions like take place in the digestive system: ingestion, secretion, mixing and movement, digestion, absorption and excretion. Digestive system components. There are several organs and other components involved in the digestion of the food, and the largest structure of the digestive system is the gastrointestinal tract. This starts from the mouth at the mouth and ends at the anus, covering a distance of about 9 meters. First is mouth. We should know about mouth. Food begins its journey through the digestive system in the mouth, also known as the oral cavity. Inside the mouth are many accessory organs that aid in the digestion of food: the tongue, the teeth, and the salivary glands. Teeth chop food into small pieces which are moistened by saliva before, before the tongue and other muscles push the food into the pharynx. The main component of the mucus is a glycoprotein called mucin, and the type secreted varies according to the region involved. Mucin is viscous, clear, and clinging. Teeth. Now come to teeth. The teeth are hard organs found along the anterior and lateral edges of the mouth. Each tooth is made up of a bone like substance called dentin and covered in a layer of enamel, the hardest substance in the body. Teeth are living organs and contain blood vessels and nerves under the dentin in a soft region known as pulp. Incisions are used for cutting or biting off pieces of foods. Canned cans are used for tearing premolars and molars for chewing and grinding. Tongue. Tongue is located in the inferior portion of the mouth, just posterior and medial to the teeth. The first part of the food to break down is the starch of carbohydrates. The tongue is attached to the floor of the mouth by a ligamentous band called phylum. Now come to the five basic tastes are referred to as those of saltiness, sourness, bitterness, and sweetness. And the most recent addition of the certain savoriness termed umami. Taste is the form of respiration that takes place in the specialized receptors of taste cells. Taste buds are mainly on the upper surface of the tongue. Perception is vital to help prevent harmful or rotten foods from being consumed. This is a function of the gustation system where the taste buds are at the forefront. There are taste buds elsewhere in the mouth, not just on the surface of the tongue. The taste buds are innervated by branch of the facial nerve, the chorda tympani, and the glossopharyngeal nerve. Text messages are sent via these cranial nerves to the brain. Salivary glands. Let's know about salivary glands. Surrounding the mouth are three sets of salivary glands. The salivary glands are accessory organs that produce a watery secretion known as saliva. The body also uses saliva to lubricate food as it passes through the mouth, pharynx, and esophagus. All of these glands terminate in the mouth. The largest of these are the parotid glands. Their section is mainly serous. The next pair are underneath the jaw, the submandibular glands. These produce both serous fluid and mucus. The third pair are the sublingual glands located underneath the tongue. Their secretion is mainly mucus with a small percentage of saliva. The glands also secrete amylase, a first stage in the breakdown of food acting on the carbohydrate in the food to transform the starch content into maltose. Lipase is a digestive enzyme that catalyzes the hydrolysis of lipids or fats. These glands are termed von Ebner's glands, which have also been shown to have another function in the secretion of histatin, which offer an early defense against microbes in food. Saliva also contains a glycoprotein called haptocorrin, which is a binding protein to vitamin B12. Now come to esophagus. Esophagus is continuous with the laryngeal part of the pharynx. It passes through the posterior mediastinum in the thorax and enters the stomach through a hole in the diaphragm at the level of the 10th thoracic vertebra. Its large averages 25 centimeter varying with height. It is divided into cervical, thoracic and abdominal parts. It carries swallowed masses of chewed food along its length. At the inferior end of the esophagus is a muscular ring called the lower esophageal sphincter or cardiac sphincter, and the function of this sphincter is to close up the end of esophagus and trap food in the stomach. Now come to pharynx. The pharynx or throat is a funnel-shaped tube connected to the posterior end of the mouth. The pharynx is made up of three parts. The lower parts, the pharynx, oropharynx, and the laryngopharynx, and involved in digestive system. The laryngopharynx connects the esophagus and it serves as a passageway for both air and food. The pharynx is inverted by the pharyngeal plexus of vagus nerve. The pharynx is responsible for the passing of masses of chewed food from the mouth to the esophagus. The pharynx also plays an important role in the respiratory system as air from the nasal cavity passes through the pharynx on its way to larynx and eventually the lungs. Because the pharynx serves two different functions, it contains a flap of tissue known as epiglottis that acts as a switch to route food to the esophagus and air to the larynx. Now come to stomach. The stomach is a muscular sac that is located on the left side of the abdominal cavity, just inferior to the diaphragm. In an average person, the stomach is about the size of their two first places next to each other. This major organ acts as a storage tank for food so that the body has time to digest large meals properly. The stomach also contains hydrochloric acid and digestive enzymes that continue the digestion of food that began in mouth. Come to small intestine. The small intestine is a long, thin tube about 1 inch in diameter and about 10 feet long that is part of the lower gastrointestinal tract. It is located just inferior to the stomach and takes up most of the spaces in the abdominal cavity. Gastric acid produced in the stomach plays a vital role in the digestive process. It mainly contains hydrochloric acid and sodium chloride. A peptide hormone, gastrin, produced by G cells in the stomach stimulates the production of gastric juice, which activates the digestive enzymes. Pepsinogen is a zymogen produced by the gastric chief cells and gastric acids activates this to the enzyme pepsin which begins the digestion of proteins. As these two chemicals would damage the stomach wall, mucus is secreted by the stomach to provide a slimy protective layer against the damaging effect of the chemicals. The pyrolus, the lowest secretion of the stomach, which attaches to the duodenum via the pyloric canal, contains countless glands which secrete digestive enzyme including gastrin. After an hour or two, a thick semi-liquid called chyme is produced, which when the pyloric sphincter or valve chyme enters the duodenum, which is where it mixes further with the digestive enzymes from pancreas and then passes through the small intestine where digestion continues. When the chyme is fully digested, it is absorbed into the blood. 95% of absorption of nutrients occurs in the small intestine. Water and minerals are reabsorbed back into the blood in the colon of the large intestine where the environment is slightly acidic. Vitamin B12, that is cobalamin, is carried to and through the stomach bound to a glycoprotein secreted by the salivary glands. Transcobalamin 1, also called heptocorrin, which protects the acid sensitive vitamin from the acid stomach contains. Now come to liver and gallbladders. The liver is the large organ and is an accessory digestive gland which plays a role in the body's metabolism. The liver is a roughly triangular accessory organ of the digestive system located to the right of the stomach, just inferior to the diaphragm and superior to the small intestine. The liver weighs about 3 pounds and is the second largest organ in the body. The main function of the liver in digestion is the production of bile and its secretion into the small intestine. The gallbladder is a small pear-shaped organ located just posterior to the liver. The gallbladder is used to store and recycle excess bile from the small intestine so that it can be reused for the digestion of subsequent meals. Bile produced by the liver is made up of water, that is 85%, bile salts and uh, bile salts, mucus and pigments, that is 1%, fats and inorganic salts. Bilirubin is its major pigment. Bile acts partly as a surfactant which lowers the surface tension between either two liquids or a solid and a liquid and helps to emulsify the fats in the chyme. Food fats is dispersed by the action of bile into smaller units called micelles. Now come to pancreas. The pancreas is a large gland located just inferior and posterior to the stomach. It is about 6 inches long and shaped like short, lumpy snake with its head connected to the duodenum and its tail pointed to the left wall of the abdominal cavity. The pancreas secretes digestive enzymes into the small intestine to complete the chemical digestion of foods. The major proteases, the pancreatic enzymes which work on proteins are trypsinogen and chymotrypsinogen. Elas- Elastase is also produced. Smaller amounts of lipase and amylase are secreted. The pancreas also secretes phospholipase A2, lysophosphase, phospholipase, and cholesterol esterase. The precursor proenzymes are inactive variants of the enzymes which avoids the onset of pancreatic caused by auto-degradation. Once released in the intestine, the enzyme enteropeptidase present in the intestinal mucosa activates trypsinogen by cleaving it to form trypsin. Further cleavage results in chymotrypsin. Now come to lower gastrointestinal tract. The lower gastrointestinal tract (GI) includes the small intestine and all of the large intestine. The intestine is also called the bowel or the gut. The lower GI starts at the pyloric sphincter of the stomach and finishes at the anus. The small intestine is subdivided into the duodenum, the jejunum, and the ileum. The cecum. The cecum marks the division between the small and large intestine. The large intestine includes the rectum and anal canal. Now come to cecum. The cecum is a pouch marking the division between the small intestine and the large intestine. The cecum receives the chyme from the last part of the small intestine, the terminal ileum, and connects to the ascending colon of the large intestine. At this junction, there is a sphincter or valve, the ileocecal valve, which slows the passage of chyme from ileum, allowing further digestion. It is also the site of the appendix attachment. Now come to large intestine. The large intestine is a long, thick tube about two of half inches, 2.5 inches in diameter and about 5 feet long. It is located. It is located just inferior to the stomach and wraps around the superior and lateral border of the small intestine. The large intestine absorbs water and contains many symbiotic bacteria that aid in the breaking down of wastage or to extract some small amounts of nutrients. Feces in the large intestine exist in the body through the anal canal. Digestive system physiology. Let's know about digestive system physiology. The digestive system is responsible for taking whole foods and turning them into energy and nutrients to allow the body to function, grow and repair itself. The six primary process of digestive system includes ingestion, secretion, mixing and movement, and absorption, absorption and excretion. Let's know details about this. First is ingestion. Ingestion describes the entry of food into the gastrointestinal tract through the mouth. The food is then swallowed and carried down to the stomach by esophagus. Now next is secretion. The digestive system secretes around 7 liters of fluids. These fluids include saliva, mucus, hydrochloric acid, enzymes and bile. Mucus serves as a protective barrier and lubricant inside of the gastrointestinal tract. Hydrochloric acid helps to digest food chemically and protects the body by killing bacteria present in our food. Enzymes are tiny biochemical machines that disassemble large macromolecules like proteins, carbohydrates, and lipids into their smaller components. Finally, bile is used to emulsify large masses of lipids into tiny globules for easy digestion. Now come to mixing and movement. Digestive system uses three main processes to move and mix food. Swallowing is the process of using smooth and skeletal muscles in the mouth, tongue, and pharynx to push food out of the mouth through the pharynx and into the esophagus. Now come to peristalsis is a muscular wave that travels the length of the GI tract, moving partially digested food a short distance down the tract. It takes many waves of peristalsis for food to travel from esophagus through the stomach and intestines and reach the end of the gastrointestinal tract, GI tract. Segmentation occurs only in the small intestine as short segments of intestine contract like hands squeezing a toothpaste tube. Segmentation helps to increase the absorption of nutrients by mixing food and increasing its contact with the walls of the intestine. Now come to digestion. Digestion. Inside the mouth, food is immediately acted on by mechanical digestion as it is moved around by the tongue and broken down by the teeth in a process called mastication. Chemical digestion also begins with the breakdown of starch components by amylase present in the saliva. The ball of food that remains after the actions of the tongue, teeth, and saliva is referred to as a bolus. This bolus passes down the esophagus and into the stomach and intestine, where the food is mixed with gastric juices so that complex food molecules can be broken down into the simple molecules. For example, carbohydrate is broken down to give glucose. The majority of digestion occurs in the small intestine, where digestive enzymes secreted by the liver and pancreas complete the digestive process so that the can be absorbed. Now come to absorption. Absorption begins in the small intestine. Small projections called villi and microvilli present in the folds and wrinkles of the stomach provide a large surface area for the diffusion of food molecules into the blood vessels of the intestinal wall. Small blood and lymphatic vessels in the intestinal wall pick up the molecules and carry them to the rest of the body. The large intestine is also involved in the absorption of water and vitamin B and K before feces leave the body. Now come to excretion. The final function of the digestive system is the excretion of waste in a process known as defecation. Defecation removes indigestible substances from the body so that they do not accumulate inside the gut. Now come to control of gastric secretion. The rate of gastric secretion can be influenced by one factor, that is factors arising before food ever reaches the stomach. Next factor is factors resulting from the presence of food in the stomach. Third is factors in the duodenum after food have left the stomach. Accordingly, gastric secretion is divided into three phases, that is cephalic, gastric, and intestinal. Cephalic phase. The cephalic phase of gastric secretion refers to the increased secretion of HCl and pepsinogen in order to prepare the mouth and stomach for food that is about to be eaten. It occurs in anticipatory manner in response to stimuli acting in the head even before food reaches the stomach. Thinking about seeing, smelling, tasting, chewing, and swallowing food increases gastric secretions by vagal nerve activity in two ways. First is vagal stimulation of the intrinsic plexus promotes increased secretion of acetylcholine, which leads to increased secretion of HCl and pepsinogen by the secretory cells. Second, vagal stimulation. Second is stimulation of the G cells causes the release of gastrin, which further enhances secretion of HCl and pepsinogen. Now come to gastric phase. The gastric phase of gastric secretion begins when food actually reaches the stomach. Stimuli acting in the stomach increase gastric secretions. Gastric secretion is stimulated in response to two factors, that is distension of stomach, which is determined by the amount of chyme and the chemical nature of the chyme. For example, protein in the stomach, the most potent stimulus, stimulates chemoreceptors that activate the intrinsic nerve plexus, which in turn stimulate the secretory cells. Proteins in the chyme stimulate the chief cells to secrete pepsinogen and G cells to secrete gastrin. Gastrin in turn stimulates the secretion of pepsinogen from chief cells and HCl from parietal cells, but its effect on the parietal cells is primarily indirect. Gastrin stimulates the secretion of histamine from ECL cells, and the histamine then stimulates secretion of HCl from parietal cells. A positive feedback mechanism thus develops as more HCl and pepsinogen are secreted, more short polypeptides and amino acids are released from the ingested proteins. This stimulates additional secretion of gastrins and therefore additional secretion of HCl and an additional secretion of HCl and pepsinogen are secreted. Also, it also be noted that glucose in the chyme has no effect on gastric secretion and the presence of fats inhibits ARD secretion. As the pH of the gastric juice drops, so does the secretion of gastric at a pH of 2.5. Gastrin secretion is reduced, and at a pH of 1.0 gastrin secretion ceases. The secretion of HCl thus declines accordingly. This effect may be mediated by the hormone somatostatin secreted by the D cells of the gastric mucosa. Now come to intestinal phase. The intestinal phase of gastric regulation refers to the inhibition of the gastric activity when chyme enters the small intestine. During the intestinal phase of digestion, food is digested in the small intestine. In addition, gastric motility and gastric secretion decrease in order to slow the exit of chyme from the stomach, which prevents the small intestine from being overloaded with more chyme than it can handle. This phase is inhibitory, whereas the other phases are excitatory. This inhibitory intestinal phase of gastric regulation is due to both a neural reflex originating from the duodenum and a chemical hormone secreted by the duodenum. The intestinal phase is important in helping sort of the flow of gastric juices as chyme begins to be emptied into the small intestine. Thank you. Finally completed.